Hi, my name is Gabe Arnold. I'm the founder and CEO of Business Marketing Engine. And today we're going to talk about 3 strategies that you can use to drastically improve your email marketing results. So stay tuned. I'm going to break these down for you so you can get way more performance out of your email marketing. Email marketing is one of the most powerful channels we can use to not only drive revenue, but to nurture the relationships we have with our clients, with our prospects, with our entire audience. And so it's definitely something that's very important to be intentional about and to continue improving on. One of the questions that I get from people is, how often should I email my list? Which is not one of the 3 strategies I was going to share, but I feel it's important to inject in here. And I always remind them that if you have a significant other, your husband, wife, and you said, I'm only going to talk to you once a month, ask yourself, how would your relationship go if you only talk to them once a month for like 2 or 3 minutes? Odds are you probably would not have a very successful relationship. But if you say, okay, well, we're going to set aside a date night a week, or we're going to spend a couple different times throughout the week where we block it out and we spend that time together, your relationship will improve. You'll be able to invest in it. And ultimately you'll be in a position where, you have a healthy relationship instead of a disconnected one. The same is true for our email marketing. We definitely need to realize that it's a relationship with a person on our list. Yes, there should be a lot of persons on our list, right? But as we treat it as a one-to-one relationship, that will help us be appropriate in how much we communicate, and we can be more intentional about not leaving our audience in the dark, or not nurturing or guiding them or supporting them. So with that kind of in mind, there's 3 things that you can do to just drastically improve results. The first one is fairly simple, but it's to test your subject lines. So the subject line you send in your email is one of the most critical parts of email marketing, because if it's not interesting, it doesn't catch attention, it doesn't have any curiosity, and it doesn't, make people go, oh man, I'm super interested in that, I want to check it out, then they're never going to open the email, and you cannot deliver value. So by taking a look at your email performance, like when you send a campaign out, every useful email marketing platform out there that you can use will show you the open rate. And that's a good indication of, is your subject line catching their attention? If it's not, if you're having open rates that are below 10% as kind of a baseline starting point, you want to explore and test. Should I use a shorter subject line? Should I explain more about what I'm going to offer in the email, what the information is? Should it be something like, a number list, like 3 things, to do to improve your email marketing could be a subject line, right? By testing that subject line, you can determine these types of subject lines work better. I'm getting higher open rates. These ones aren't performing, so I'm going to stop using that style or that approach. So it just takes time of reviewing what you sent, looking at performance. I like to give emails at least 3 days before I grade them on their open rates or performance. But also, you can even go to a 7-day window. So if you send an email today, you could look at the stats a week from today, and you're going to get the majority of people that were going to open it will have opened it by that point. So that's the first strategy. Test your subject lines until you determine what gets you open rates that increase. And over time, you can get 25, 30, 40, even higher open rates as you're consistent in keeping a clean list, which we'll probably talk about on another show, but also in testing and figuring out what subject lines engage the curiosity and interest of the people on your list. The second thing that you want to do that will dramatically increase the results you get from email marketing is to train your audience to click. And what I mean by that is, there's plenty of times I'll look at a client's email marketing, I'll take a look at the format and structure of the information and what they're sending out there, and they're just putting all the content in the email. And while that seems useful on the one hand, you're not actually serving that audience member, that person on your list well, if you're not starting to train them in a healthy, positive way to click out and engage with other resources and take advantage of the things you offer. And so with every email you send, in my experience, it's important to have a link they can click, whether that's to a YouTube video or a page on your site, or even sometimes somebody else's resource. That's okay as well, because then you're going to teach people to read your subject lines, open the email, read your content, click through, and ultimately that's going to allow you to drive sales appointments, get people on educational webinars like we talked about earlier this week on the show, download a resource. You're going to help them understand that by being active and engaging with the content that you're sharing, they're going to get more value. So training your audience to click is huge, because if you just have a list that just opens and reads your emails, but they take no action, then you can't really lead them to the next step of how you can serve and help them. The third strategy is to be more conversational and at the same time get to the point. Unless your audience and your list and the people that you're emailing are used to you writing really long form email, which some email marketers do with incredible success, but that's a skill to build up to. Unless they're used to you doing that, find the balance between being conversational, sharing updates in your stories, and getting to the point and giving them value. Because with concise, simple messages, they feel a lot more like the type of emails that we get from a coworker or a friend, like, hey, do you want to go get dinner next week? Or what's going on with this project, or things like that. Shorter amounts of copy is easier for the reader to absorb. And so by balancing that of being conversational, sharing updates and bonding with them, with also balancing it with being concise and getting to the point and adding value, you will really serve your audience well. They'll trust you more. And ultimately, that's what will also lead them to click through on something if you share it, to take that next step and be in a workshop, or to reply back to you with a question that you send. So when we do these three things, it increases the performance of our email marketing. And over time, you can generate significant revenue from email marketing. I have clients and friends who have, a list of 1,500 people, and they generate six figures with that email list. We've had in-house lists that we run where it's only, it's less than 3,000 people, and we're able to make 250,000 or more per year from the email list. And so realizing that the more you nurture that relationship, the more you stay in front of folks, the more opportunity you have to serve them. That's ultimately what's going to increase open rates and stats and the things we need in email, but obviously with the main goal of increasing revenue. So if you're struggling with email marketing, if you haven't gotten the performance out of it that you think you can, comment down below. Let me know what your questions are. I'll be happy to answer them, or shoot me a message. Or of course, you can head over to businessmarketingengine.com and shoot a message to us there. We'd be glad to have a conversation and figure out how we can help you. Thank you so much for taking time to tune in today, and I will see you on tomorrow's episode.